Okay guys, I kind of wanted to make a video today about basically the state of the Monsterverse and kind of what I think of it overall. Godzilla Minus One, I saw that recently in theaters again on the 4th, and I love that film. Godzilla Minus One still is an incredible film. It's a masterpiece, and I've seen a lot of people after Godzilla X Kong came out on Blu-ray and stuff and DVD. I see them kind of crapping on it. It's definitely not what it used to be. The Monsterverse is not the same. Godzilla 2014, if you grew up on that like I did, my first Godzilla movie in theaters was Godzilla 2014. And I'm one of those people that would have liked it to have gone down a more realistic direction. Not like the Dark Knight realism, but more like the DCEU realism, like the films after the Dark Knight trilogy. I think that type of realism is perfect, and it's kind of what the Monsterverse was. It was kind of like that. They had aliens. They had all these fantastical things, but they had it with this realistic lens, and I really liked that. The Monsterverse kind of still is like that to a certain extent. I think it has character designs and monster designs that are still realistic and grounded. It's just like the world around it has definitely gotten funner and more insane, like the later Showa films. I definitely think, though, that Godzilla X Kong and Godzilla vs. Kong, or switch them, I still love those movies. I know that people don't like them as much, but look, yes, I would definitely love to see them go back to a more dark Godzilla. I would definitely like that, like a more grounded tone. Hell, in my Godzilla King's Awakening pitch, which you should check out, it's Godzilla King's Awakening. It is dark. It is a dark pitch. It is a dark movie idea. It's just good. I'm really proud of that one still, even if it is kind of junky and weird and I kind of go off a lot. But overall, I do want it. I definitely want that. I don't think they should do what Godzilla Minus One did, but I definitely think that they can do something like that. Like, have a more interesting human story. Because I love the human characters in GXK. My brother loves them. Like, I just think they're such fun characters. Bernie is insanely fun to watch. Great character personalities. But, yeah, I definitely do think that there is some improving to do. I'm still very grateful, but I definitely think they could go darker again. And I love that each director of the Monsterverse had their own stamp on it. Adam Wingard was just one of those directors. Yeah, I don't completely agree with it. It had its own tone and style, and I really liked that. It was definitely Showa Godzilla style, without the classic music though, but still classic Showa Godzilla. It would have been 100 times better if it had the classic Godzilla music, but it doesn't, so that's just the way it is. But man, I loved GXK. It was awesome. And I still remember the theater experience very vividly. I just remember hearing and seeing all the people clapping after the movie. I have not had that happen for a Godzilla movie ever. Like, whenever I went and see a Godzilla movie or a Kong movie, it would always not have that response. But since Godzilla is in the place it is right now, it has like this emotional thing now, you know, because people are now getting into the franchise. It's just an awesome thing that what Godzilla and the Monsterverse did for us Godzilla fans. It really changed a lot of how people view Godzilla. Godzilla Minus One definitely solidified that, but yeah, I don't know, man. I think I still love the Monsterverse, and I definitely understand why people don't like it. I definitely get it, but to me, I still really enjoy it, and I kind of accepted that it's changed. And there are people that just can't, and I get that. King of the Monsters was so fucking good. I still think that's the best Monsterverse film. That film is emotional and incredible. It's just such an incredible movie. But that was just one of the people's visions for this franchise. Michael Dougherty, that was just his vision, and I guess now it just evolved into something else because of a different person. I wish that Adam Wingard would have come back for the third one, but also I'm kind of like relieved that he's not, because to be honest, I loved GXK and I still do. I love Kong's story, and I definitely understand that Godzilla has a lot more stuff than Kong right now. I think it is kind of annoying to see people complain about, oh my god, there's not enough Godzilla. There's Kong's in it the whole time. I definitely get that, but I mean, like, you have Godzilla -1, and I get that you want more in the Monsterverse Godzilla, but still, you can't deny that you have a bunch of Godzilla stuff besides the Monsterverse stuff. That's just how it is. And I think right now the Monsterverse is just in a different direction. And I'm probably repeating myself, but I think that's a good thing. I think it's good that they're standing on their own 2 feet. I think the fact that Toho is making darker Godzilla movies kind of makes it... If we had Legendary make dark Godzilla movies too, it would feel stale. It definitely would feel a little bit annoying to have 2 dark Godzilla movies. I think it's good to have variety. That's just how the franchise has always been. And I get that the film, the universe itself, the Monsterverse, can definitely do some improving in terms of the timeline and all that. I definitely think that it has to. I think that that's a big problem, is that the whole continuity of it, it is contradicted a lot. But you know, they're still entertaining movies. But I definitely get that that's frustrating, and I definitely understand if you're into explaining and lore stuff. I feel for you, because that has to be frustrating to like try to explain all this stuff that they just keep retconning in some places. I think they have gotten better with it over time, but holy shit, it's still kind of a mess in some areas. I don't know. Oh man. So I feel for you guys. I definitely do. But as a Godzilla fan that just like watches these movies just for fun, I appreciate it. Like, I really do. I really do appreciate what the Monsterverse is doing. It's making Godzilla fun, and I love that. I love that they're making Godzilla into like this character. He is a character. I know people say that they don't have any characterization in these movies. In the new Monsterverse films, some of the fans say that Godzilla has no character, but they have a basic personality trait. And with Godzilla, like, they don't have as much pathos as Kong. They're not the same character. Like, Godzilla is more of a dick than Kong. Basically, Godzilla was created because of us, and that is the message of Godzilla. Godzilla is a reflection of the worst of humanity. And so Godzilla, in a lot of media, does not have this human-like personality. He is his own character. Don't compare them to Kong. They're not the same. They are not the same in terms of personality. Or, I know people don't think that they're the same character, but I mean, like, I'm saying they're not, like, the same in terms of pathos. They're not on the same level. Godzilla definitely has pathos, I feel, but I think it's more forgiving if they make Godzilla kind of just have a basic personality trait. If they did that with Kong, though, that would be annoying, Because Peter Jackson's King Kong did that so amazingly. Did Kong's characterization. So if they did what they're doing with Godzilla, but with Kong, that's not good. But I mean, like, they're doing it with Godzilla, so it's not as bad, I think. He has his own personality traits. I love that about the character, and I think that's a big trait of this Godzilla, though I do wish that it would have been done better. I think a lot of people feel that way, but it's Godzilla, and I just love it. I'll always be there for this big G, for this big guy. Yeah, man, it's a great time to be a Godzilla fan. We're getting a new Toho Godzilla movie. We're getting GXK3, or whatever it's called. I'm thinking it'll be a Godzilla x Kong film. But yeah, and we're getting Monarch and probably more spin-offs in terms of TV series. It's just a great time. You know, like, I'm just really grateful for it. And I definitely get why some people don't like the Monsterverse right now, and I definitely get it. The reason why the Monsterverse is not doing as well in terms of the fan outlook is because it's just not the same. It's not the same, and I think that has a big thing to do with it. And I think that's just, it makes sense. You know, like, Godzilla is different. I've accepted it, and I've also accepted that Godzilla has kind of always had different ideas. And like I said, Godzilla started out as a bad guy in the show series and became a good guy. But it eventually went back to being dark. Era of Mechagodzilla, it got darker. And also, same thing with the Heisei series. Godzilla 1984 started out dark, and then it became a little cheesy at the middle part of the Heisei series. And then again, it had a dark Godzilla film with Godzilla vs. Destroyer. It's just this thing that happens in most Godzilla series where Godzilla slowly gets more and more cheesy, but it just goes right back around. And I think people don't realize that sometimes for some reason. It's like, it's nothing new. Like, this whole Monsterverse thing is nothing new. It's nothing new to see Godzilla get a little cheesier. And I definitely get why it can be annoying. But I think since it's different now, though, allowed to do that because we're getting Takashi Yamazaki's Godzilla stuff, I think that helps. Because I just think Takashi Yamazaki's doing their Dark Godzilla stuff, and I think that kind of allows Legendary to do different things with Godzilla and King Kong. It just does, you know. They can go crazier with it, and people love it. People do love it. I do think it's not as good as it used to be, but I think all the films have their own unique things about them, and I think all the films look beautiful. I don't care what anyone says about, oh man, the films look ugly, the CGI sucks. It doesn't. I don't really think it does. I think they all look good. I think, and also CGI, people still worked on that. You know, like, people worked on it, worked really hard on it. So I'm kind of less critical of CGI because it is a technology. It is something that is hard to capture. And when people do it in films, I'm just amazed that it looks that good. Because it must be hard to do that stuff. But also, the economy and the fucking COVID happened, slowly getting back to normal, and films have been struck by that, you know? And I think that the film industry, I still respect it. And so it's weird when you see people complain about it all the fucking time on Twitter. Mostly on Twitter. Twitter is a very toxic place. Or X now. X, formerly known as Twitter. It is a shit show. I joined the Blue Sky. I'm still doing X stuff, but not as much. If you want to follow me on Blue Sky, it's Ultra Marco. And it is an Ultraman profile. That's just a placeholder, like, with the picture on it, Ultra Marco. It's just normal Ultraman. It's Ultra Marco with an exclamation point. The profile pic is temporary. I'm definitely going to draw my own design for the Ultra Marco profile on Blue Sky. I am
So yeah, follow me on there. Follow me on X2. I'm known as Mark Hong on there. MarKong. Mark Hong. Pretty cool, pretty awesome name if I do say so myself. Pretty creative. I'm known as Godzilla on here, and I would really appreciate it if you guys would subscribe. You know, like I just love this channel, and I hope y'all can enjoy it too. I am really proud of what I am doing on here, and I think that yeah. That's it, guys. See you guys later, and have a great day.